Hello, everyone, and welcome. Um, it's been quite a while, but here I am. And for that, I guess I should start. I sincerely apologize for that. Work, finishing up the final weeks of my degree program, and just being a little bit more unwell than usual, kind of as a result of that exhaustion and just been overworked. So I've definitely needed my rest, which is pretty much what I've been doing in my downtime outside of those things. Even just a couple of weeks ago, I actually tried to film this video, and I was so out of it. I was so drained that when looking back at the footage, I was just not. I just did not like it, so I wanted to reshoot it. But I've just been so busy and drained, and just trying to pace myself and just take the time to rest and make sure that I'm okay in that regard, and I'm not pushing myself too hard, even though there's a lot I'm trying to do, but still got to go at my own pace and do those things one at a time. But I'm feeling better, rested, and here I'm ready to do this. So yeah, but yeah, I do apologize for the long delay. Just my health and schedule just is a constantly like back and forth thing. Can never anticipate what it's gonna be like, but here I am. So yeah, new year, been a couple of months, quite a bit, but then at the same time, not a whole lot. But I guess I should get right into it. Uh, before I get into everything, I did have a follow up with my endocrinologist in January, at the beginning of this year. Just a pretty straightforward follow up. I did have my dosage increase, so I went from 6 milligrams of estradiol to now 8, which I now take twice daily in 4 milligram increments. My spironolactone has not changed; that's still the same, but my estradiol boost great. So other than that mild boost and just a slight change into how in my daily dose intake, uh, everything is, I guess, business as usual, and I'm yeah, still working on that or still going about that. I actually have lab work that I need to go in for I was supposed to do in February, but just been so tired and busy. I'm gonna try to get in to do that as soon as possible, so that I can at least have that lab work in, so they can figure out what the next steps would be for me, moving forward with all that. But that comes later. But I guess getting into the psychological stuff, starting with that, it's just been life. Definitely the usual highs and the lows. It's definitely been a time for a lot of like reflection and thinking for me. Towards the end of last year, I definitely spent a lot of time just kind of thinking about my journey so far, thinking about my life in general as a whole, and just all the different things that have been going on in it, and all the different things that are potentially going to happen, and so on and so forth, and just reflecting on all of those different things and just my journey. And it definitely I definitely feel like realized a lot, learned a lot, and I definitely feel better as a result and ready to go into the new year, ready for I guess whatever's thrown at me. And so far, it hasn't been too bad. I've definitely made the effort to come out of my shell more, and I've been going out of my way to meet and hang out with new people, which has been fantastic. I've definitely had some great conversations and met some lovely individuals, and trying and just I guess just trying to be more just trying to live, just step outside the door and just live life the way that I want to live life, meet the people that I want to meet, have the experiences that I want to have. I'm finally feel comfortable and feel comfortable and confident enough to do that. I feel that I'm just as of recent just been coming out of my shell more, just feeling more comfortable and confident, and just wanting to put myself out there, to want to meet new people, to hang out with them, and just have just live. And I think that's definitely something that I've had a realization about, of just like, oh my gosh, I'm so comfortable and confident in my body and just feel so great, just being myself, that I'm I'm very optimistic about setting foot, going out and wanting to do the things that I want to do, meeting the people that I want to meet, and trying new things, and even just going about my regular everyday life, and just doing it with someone, and just doing it so upbeat. I feel all around just less anxious in general. Um, I definitely feel a lot of that, as I mean, normally I do have anxiety, and I normally find myself being a very like anxious person, especially in a social environment. But I don't feel that as much anymore, which is definitely a huge step. And with my dysphoria and just a lot of that, I guess, dilemma of passing and just that you don't know what what the people around you are thinking or potentially saying or whatnot, and that can be very just very very anxiety inducing. But I don't really feel that anymore. I feel that I can just go about my day wherever I happen to be, running errands, just going someplace new. I don't really pay too much mind to what the people around me are doing. I don't really care like what they think about me and what I'm doing in my life. I'm just going about my existence and just doing things my way. Shit, my fan just went off. I keep forgetting that I have that it's spring, but I still have to use a heater because of my condition. I'm basically anemic. Let me. Shit, I guess what I'm trying to say is that it definitely just helped me that I just don't feel a lot of that social anxiety, that self consciousness that I feel just towards myself, my identity, and just how I am, my surroundings, even whether at home or out in a public setting. Like I'm just being myself wherever, and don't really care anymore about what others around me think or feel. Even and I think that's a huge, and I feel like that's a huge development. That's a huge step forward to just be in that place where you're just so comfortable and content with yourself that it's just like, hey, you're just doing it like you. You're just being yourself. Don't worry about what others are doing. Don't worry about what others think. You're just being yourself. And I feel like that's the like probably among like definitely, if not probably the best place to be, where it's just you're just comfortable and confident enough that you just don't care, and you shouldn't. Like that's where I'm at. Like, hey, you guys are doing your thing, I'm doing mine, and I am who I am, and I really don't care whether anyone around me is for or against it. It's like you do you, and I'll do me, I guess is a way of putting it. So that's definitely like a huge step. I feel like it's changed with my condition because I just always just huge. What seems like something I could be experiencing for the first time could actually probably be the second or the third. Um, it's a very strange thing, but it feels like this is just like a first for me, like that huge step forward where it's like I'm at a place in my transition. I'm at a place where I feel comfortable and confident enough in my skin overall that I can just comfortably be me without paying any mind to my surroundings, regardless of what they think. And that's definitely, and regardless of where, it doesn't matter, regardless of where I am in my actual medical transition and whatnot. That's like I'm probably like I mean, I still obviously have a long ways to go, but I'm definitely where I feel I want to be, that place, that ideal place where I look at myself in the mirror and it's just like, holy shit, this is like, I'm happy, I'm content, I get a huge smile on my face because that's me. I'm seeing my genuine self in that mirror, and not some lie, not somebody trying to be something that they're not. And it just always just fills me with so much joy and makes to just see that, to just see like, oh my gosh, I'm me, and I'm so happy for that. So happy for that. Um, so yeah, that's definitely where I'm kind of just at in that psychological space, I guess, emotional as well, however you want to look at it. But moving on to the physical side of things, um, it's been kind of underwhelming. Last last few months, prior to my dosage increase, I haven't really noticed any major changes. There have been, as far as my overall body goes, I know I've definitely had just continue progress with my I guess my weight loss journey, and just my overall just health journey in general, in terms of just getting better physically because of my neurological disorder, as well as just better dieting and eating because of my condition, as well as just always that mindset of, hey, I can do better in terms of my health and all the areas pertaining to that. So yeah, I've definitely noticed a lot of change. There's definitely been a lot of change in that area, and I definitely can say as a result that's uh, quite had an effect on my body. Where kind of going back to that sort of confidence thing, where with those feminizing changes to my body from the hormones. And, as I'm, meeting those goals and getting, and as I'm meeting those weight loss goals and getting where I want to be physically in that regard, just feeling comfortable and confident being in the place where I want to be in terms of my health, and how that's correlating to my overall physical outlook and just that feminized appearance, and just me and easing my gender dysphoria, if I guess, if you will. And it's been great. I've definitely, I'm pretty much where I'm at, where I want to be. Um, and yeah, sorry, like, not sure how to summarize how to summarize it. But yeah, definitely my overall physique is definitely kind of adjusted in that more noticeable feminine direction. Arms, legs, torso, even in my face, it's like I've definitely noticed a little, like, more of those noticeable slight, that more of that faint glow to the skin, that more feminine look to the eyes, especially, doing the after doing, my 2.5 year, video, and just looking back at a lot of those images, and just really part of reflecting on just how much my body has changed from, over the course of that 2.5 years. So, those it's like, the early weeks of, those final weeks of just the year in general, early weeks of this year, and just seeing how much I've changed, and like, wow, like, the little things, hair, everything. But now that, but it's mostly just been kind of a subtle thing. But now that I'm in the new year and I've been on an increased dosage, I haven't really been noticing anything, just in the mild ways. I mean, hair is about the same. Overall body, I haven't noticed any major changes. Skin seems about the same. Body hair seems the same. I haven't noticed any major, like, noticeable, like, feminizing changes in the face, or just overall body in general. I've definitely noticed a lot more of a soreness and tenderness in my chest, which that usually I found that to be like an indicator of, just another kind of, like, oh, I'm still gearing up for, like, another another round of changes, if you will. So, um, that's definitely been something, but I just haven't really noticed anything else. Really, it's been the same as usual, just that kind of subtle stuff from the end of the year, and now it's like, oh well, I'm in. Uh, sorry, but yeah, it hasn't really been like any real major changes or anything. It's just been like, oh well, the subtle stuff towards the end of the year, and then this stuff. It's just been with my increased dosage. I haven't really noticed anything big aside from, sore tenderness in the chest. But no other, like, real, like, big changes yet. So, but that's typically normal, and it's a slow winding thing. Some months, some weeks you get something, other weeks not so much, and this is one of those times. And again, with my increased dosage, who knows what could happen, and I guess I just have to wait and see. But I guess what I'm kind of getting at, what I keep thinking about, is that at this point that kind of matters just a little bit less, because as I said before, I'm in a really good place. I'm at a point in almost 3 years in where, yeah, where I'm so confident in with where I'm at, and my transition, and all the ways that I've, grown and become myself, and not just the ways that I've medically changed, but just the ways that I've gone about my expression, and just how I do my hair, my makeup, nails, the clothing that I wear, everything. Just all of those different things in this journey. I'm in a really great place where I'm myself. I'm me to, like, the darn near fullest. And yeah, I am gonna have those mild stressors, those little bit things I do have mild insecurity about, but I'm at a really good place where I'm so comfortable and confident in my own skin, that those things don't bother me as much as before, that I can be myself and do the things that I want to do comfortably and confidently, and those things don't bother me as much, that I can do the things that I want to do, wear the clothes that I want to wear, meet the people that I want to meet, and have the experiences that I want to have without really any compromise or really much limitation, because I'm just being myself. I'm just being me. And that's what really matters at the end of the day, is that, yeah, there are still those milestones to cross. There's still a lot of ground to cover in the journey. But what matters is that I'm at that milestone where, I were in, worrying about, more and more of those noticeable, more noticeable changes, and, pondering surgery and all those other things is more on the back burner, more for like down the road, than trying to bring to the immediate, because I'm so in a good enough place that just is not as imperative for me to get to now, that I can live as myself and whatnot, and do so without really feeling I need to really think too much as much about those things anymore, because why should I need to? Like, I'm happy, I'm content, and that's what matters, and that's like how it should be ultimately at the end of the day. So yeah, a little overwhelming, but hey, another month is another month, or in this case, another couple months is another couple months. But at the end of the day, still happy, still healthy, still content, and moving forwards, and that's what ultimately matters at the end of the day for me and for you and anybody else out there. So, yeah, I just keep going. But anyway, but yeah, that is the gist of it. Again, I apologize for the delay. My health is a constant teetering thing, but I'm in my final weeks of my program, so with me finishing that up soon will definitely give me a little bit more time and flexibility to work on other stuff. But working on other stuff, with that said, I also do work on other film projects in my spare time, a couple of which that, I'm working on separate. But, and then again, I also am kind of low-key developing other projects that may or may not be correlating to this channel specifically, but who knows. But with my schedule right now, I'm just a very busy bee, and I want to do, and I'm doing the best that I can to be present, be making things here, and that'll always be the goal. And I wholeheartedly appreciate each and every single one of you for sticking around and for keeping that going, keeping that dream alive, I guess, if you will. But yeah, that's the gist of it. Another sort of, I guess, underwhelming month, or I guess case kind of couple of months, but hey, it happens. It's just part of the journey, it's just how it is. Get some good ones, not some not so great ones, but what matters at the end of the day is that I'm happy and content and in a really good place. So yeah, but yeah, that's the gist of that. Again, I'm so glad that I finally get to sit down and make this. Again, I do dearly apologize for the delay. I honestly do feel bad that I'm not as consistent with my uploads as I used to be, but with work kind of pushing me a little bit more than usual, and then with these final weeks of school, I've just been trying to be a little bit just more attentive towards my health, and just trying to take the time that I need to rest in between those things and other responsibilities and stuff that I do. But I feel once I finish my program, I should have a little bit more flexibility and time to work on things. And that being said, I do work on film projects in my spare time, all kinds of different projects, none that I really can talk about, but who knows, maybe I might be cooking up something for here, I might not be, who knows. But I'm always trying, I try to make what time I can to work on these, even if it does seem like it might be like ages between one upload to the next. I do, it's like, I hope, it's like, I mean it when I say, like, that's more of a necessity than I'd like it to be, because with my condition, I'm just slowly but surely getting better, but it takes time, but it's taking its sweet time. So, but that said, I do appreciate each and every one of you out there for sticking around and keeping the dream alive, just wanting to share what I have to say in the hope that it may help you and many others out there. And that's all I want to keep doing. So thanks for helping me keep that going. But anyway, that is all I have for now. Thank you all so very much for watching, and take care.